It's Monday, August 18th, 2025, and this is episode 341 of You Can Bet on That. Hi, everybody. Welcome to You Can Bet on That, a podcast for the recreational gambler. I'm Mark Duvall.
And I'm Dr. Mike.
Dr. Mike, you're back from your trip. Shoot, we were going to record an episode when you got back, a delayed episode. Yep. But then you apparently got some kind of bug or something on your trip.
Yeah, some kind of flu bug, and then passed it on to everyone else. But people back here were getting it too, people I hadn't been around. So I don't know, maybe I caught it here when we got home.
Yeah. Well, you were pretty sick, so we couldn't record.
Yeah, no, I was really down.
Yeah, so it's been a month since we've actually released an episode. So sorry for that. Sorry about that, everybody, but we're back.
Yeah, blame me. I mean, I saw
do.
you. I saw you had said you always do.
You saw that on Twitter where I said, it's always Dr. Mike's fault.
Yeah,
it's true. Yeah.
And I mean, I can't fault you. It usually is.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, we have to start the episode with some sad news, and I think most listeners have probably heard this, but Mark Wojtowicz, who was the founder and host of the 360 Vegas podcast, passed away a couple of weeks ago. And it is sending some pretty big ripples through our community. Mark was very open about his mental health struggles, and he seemed to be okay. In fact, if you take a listen, he was on Tim Lawson's podcast, The Better Life, to promote his book, and they talked about these mental health issues, and he seemed like he was in a good place, but unfortunately he made the decision to take his own life, and that happened on July 30th. Mark was a huge member of this community, and he loved Las Vegas. He put more work into his podcast and his brand, the 360 Vegas brand, than the rest of us combined in the community. Well, I shouldn't speak for everybody, but certainly way more than I put.
He did put a lot.
Oh my gosh. And this book that he released, it's more than 500 pages, right? The book, and you can still get it. It's called Vegas, From Fremont to the Strip, How Las Vegas Casinos Evolved. Just very sad. Karen has set aside October the 18th and the 19th for a celebration of life in Las Vegas. Those are the dates. She says that the 18th will probably be the main event, whatever it is. Details have not been released, but watch social media and we'll mention it on our show too.
One thing I want to say, Mark, is that for a lot of people, mental health issues are quite misunderstood.
For sure.
A lot of times a person can seem like everything's great, but still have issues going on. And it's hard for other people sometimes to see that unless you're real close with a person. So it's a terribly sad disease, and it affects way more people than you think.
Oh, yeah.
The reason I say this is so people take a few minutes to become more aware of your surroundings and the people around you, and talk to people about it. A lot of people don't like that subject, but if you talk to people who may have issues or something, it really does help. So
if you are able to, I would recommend listening to a couple of episodes. Like I said, Mark was on The Better Life on the May 25th episode. Might be a little difficult to listen to, hearing his voice. Tim also, on the latest episode of The Better Life, talks about how, in this case, Mark was getting everything that he needed to help prevent suicide.
Right.
And yet it still happens. So Tim talks about this a lot and basically says people should not feel bad about maybe missing signs or not giving him support or anything, because he was getting all these things.
Yeah. It still happens.
Yeah.
But to a lot of times too, though, people aren't like Mark.
Yes, right.
And aren't open about it.
Well, and sometimes people don't have the outlets that Mark did. His creative outlet, he was just so devoted to Las Vegas and getting it out to people. I'll tell you, 360 Vegas Vacation had become the premier get-together for this community, meetup,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
We have other
Right.
meetups, yeah, but this really became the premier one, and that was because of Mark.
Yeah.
To their credit, and amazingly, Karen, along with help from Tony and Josh and Michael Mavestro, released a 360 Vegas episode after his death. And again, I really urge people to listen to it. Yes, it's a difficult listen at times, but there's a lot of humor there. You know how Mark loved to laugh and loved humor, and the humor might be a little dark, but it's there. I really recommend that so that you not only get a sense of what Mark meant to the community, but you get details too about how Karen is doing, what the future of the podcast might be, and again, this meetup that will be happening in October. So yeah, just a great loss to the community.
Yep. Yep.
All right, well, let's get on with our show. We got an email from listener Chris. He was playing Face Up Pai Gow at Resorts World in Las Vegas, and I'll read his email here. Young couple comes up to the table with maybe $150 between them. A hand plays out where the dealer had 2 pair, and so did the young lady. I was chatting with the pit boss at the time, so I didn't see the hand in question. But the dealer called her hand a loss, took the $15, and mucked the cards. The lady protests that it should have been a push. She lost on the low hand, but won on the high. Immediately, the pit boss says to the lady that they'll call up the camera and they will review it. A few minutes later, the pit boss gets the call and informs the player that no mistakes were made, and that's that. At which I made eye contact with the pit boss and raise an eyebrow. The couple colors up and walks. So I engaged the pit boss. Why didn't you just give her the $15? You're going to get it back anyway, and now you've ticked off 2 players. The pit boss, who was actually pretty great, explains that they have to follow the process since Resorts World is under so much scrutiny for the money laundering thing. Yeah, they got into a lot of trouble recently. We go back and forth a bit, and after a few minutes, they hit me with this one, which I think is the interesting part. They said, I have to apply the same process to the $15 bettor as I do with the $1,500 bettor, or they could be exposed, I guess with the regulators, which I actually thought was a fair statement, and I'm curious as to what you guys think. There was a little implication, not explicitly stated, that they really don't care about losing a $15 bettor, which may be why they are not doing so hot financially. I will say that the service staff there were all excellent, even if they have to follow some wrong-headed procedures. Chris. Mike, I'll throw it to you first. What do you think about this situation?
Well, I mean, if they reviewed it and she really did lose, I really don't have a problem with it.
Right, yeah, I'm kind of the
But
same
now
way.
if, he did kind of imply that they don't really care about the $15 bettors, I'm not so good with that because
Right.
as a business, you should care about all your customers, whether they're big or small. Now, you may treat the bigger customer with a little more jubilance, I'll say, but you definitely don't want to offend anybody because that's how you make your business.
I do agree with you. I don't have a problem with how this was handled.
No.
I will say this, and I know this is tough sometimes, but if you see a mistake or something that you perceive as a mistake, speak up right away. Yeah, you could
Right.
be wrong and maybe it's a little embarrassing, but speak up right away because if the dealer had just mucked the cards and she said something, I mean, they've only been mucked. They haven't been put into the shuffle machine. The hands should be
spread 'em back
retrievable.
out.
Right.
Yeah,
They shouldn't
right.
have to go to the camera. So I'm guessing that the deck had already been put back in the shuffle machine and then it really is irretrievable. That's why they have to go to the
Right.
camera. The other thing is, though, the story is that both the dealer and the player had 2 pair. Well, if this is Face Up Pai Gow and you
Right.
play your hand correctly, the worst you can do with 2 pair against 2 pair is push. You can't lose unless you misplay your hand because even if the dealer has a higher 2 pair, if the dealer keeps his 2 pair together, you split yours up. If the dealer splits his up, you keep yours together. And then a push is the worst that you could have. So, okay, she must have misplayed her hand for her to have really lost.
To lose, she would have to misplay it. Yeah.
And This is an example of a casino where they won't give you the benefit of the doubt and pay you or push you or whatever based on how the hand should have been played.
Yeah.
Which
well, and
I
some of
understand, but
some of that may be because they've gotten in trouble.
very much so. It could be. Yeah.
And they don't want to. I don't know how persistent like the gaming board is, but they could potentially send someone in as to play some hands and make some mistakes and see what happens. I don't know if they would do something to that extreme, but they might. But the casino's best thing is to be above board on everything, right?
Yeah. And if the pit was telling the truth, and there's no reason to believe that they weren't, then it was a losing hand, and she loses the bet.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Now, if he had said something like, "Oh, we're not going to review that, you lost. It's just $15," then I'd have an issue with that.
I would too.
But the fact that he called and reviewed it, I mean,
I guess ultimately, Chris, what we're saying is, no, we don't really have a problem with this because apparently it was a loss. And so, a loss is a loss, yeah.
But yeah, if their policy was not to care about small bettors, that's not a good policy for a casino.
No. And again, it was implied. The pit didn't actually say that, but yeah.
Right.
We had something kind of fun happen here recently. Our buddy Chris, who's one of our Tuesday night poker players, he bought some shares in a racehorse. He went to a website called myracehorse.com, and he bought part of a racehorse. The racehorse is named Mistrial with 2 S's, one word, but like Mistrial. And she recently ran at Del Mar. This is something that anybody can do. I want to say that the shares for these horses start at like $100. I might be wrong, but check out the details on myracehorse.com. And Chris went out to Del Mar to see her run. It was her maiden race. I watched it on TV. She was the favorite on the morning line. I think she was 2-1. Bob Baffert trained. And regardless of how you feel about Bob Baffert, he's a top trainer, maybe
he is a
top
good
one
trainer
in the country. During the wagering, the odds dropped down to as far as 1-5.
Wow.
And Chris said that when he was there, he was kind of looking around and people were looking at each other like, do you have part of this horse? Do you have a little part of this horse? And they were all, yeah. So a lot of investors must have been there. And they were probably betting big on her, and that's what brought the odds down. At race time, the odds were about 1-2. Unfortunately, she stumbled out of the gate. It was her first race and could never recover. She actually was kind of coming back a little bit, but you could see in the stretch that the jockey was kind of easing up on her, kind of like, well, she's not going to win. She's not even going to place in the money. I don't want to wear her out, right? Let's just call this one a loss and wait for the next time. So she finished 7th out of 8, so kind of disappointing there. But kind of fun. And according to Chris, she's going to be running again here at the end of this month or the beginning of September. So maybe I'll post a little something at Del Mar. Maybe I'll tweet something out about it to let people know.
I wonder how they get a horse used to coming out of the gate with a bunch of other horses.
Well, according to Chris, she did have some practice at that. They are able to kind of give the horse some practice there.
Yeah.
But this was the first time it was a real race, all the conditions, the crowds and everything. And who knows what happened,
Yeah, it's kind of hard to simulate big crowds and noise. And I guess you could get a starting gate and put 6 or 7 other horses in there, but
I don't know. I don't know if they actually practice her with other horses in the gate or whether there was some gate practice, but she got through it this time and, maybe better next time. So anyway, there you go. Yeah.
It's kind of fun though to have. I mean, I wonder how many shares they sell to a horse like that. I mean,
that's a good question. And again, myracehorse.com has all the details. So yeah, kind of fun.
And how do they make money on that? I mean, if the horse does really well
we've talked about it. Racehorsing, it's not a profitable business for most people who own racehorses. It's more of a hobby because, the purse doesn't just go to you. Trainer, jockey, the stable. I mean, there's so much. So,
well, the real money is in if you get a champion, breeding it later, right?
Yeah, that's it, right? In the stud fees, yeah.
In the stud fees, that's where the real money is. Yeah. But I just wondered how a person, if you bought a piece of a racehorse, you bought a few shares, how those shares would increase in value.
Oh, well, but they might not, but you might get dividends, based on if the horse places in the money. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So, but again, details, myracehorse.com.
Okay, good. Well, that's interesting. I was kind of hoping it'd win, but
Yeah, I know, it was such a huge favorite.
yeah, those things happen though. That's horse racing.
It sure is.
That's like going to a casino, Mark. I assume I'm winning every time I step in there.
Oh, is that right? Because I remember
Yeah.
a previous episode where you had like visions of the future when you walked in and you saw yourself leaving the casino without any money in your pockets. So I don't know. It's just a little inconsistent, I think.
Well, that's reality kicking in.
Oh.
In my mind, when I first leave, I'm going to win.
Okay.
As soon as I see the front door, I know I'm losing.
All right. So it's more about leaving your house and the drive there where you just assume you're going to win. Yeah. And then you see the front door to the casino. It's like, oh no, what have I done?
Yeah. What was I thinking? That goes for most of my life. Most of my life ends with the words, what was I thinking?
Well, Mike, shoot, Vital Vegas originally broke this story, but table games are no more at Golden Gate in downtown Las Vegas. This is pretty sad because craps, at least, this was a favorite for a lot of people in the community. Apparently, the dealers are just going to be moving over to the D and to Circa. But craps, though, was the big thing. Yes, sometimes the dealers were a little green, but there was something about that atmosphere. It was close to the bar. You got good drink service. You had the loud music. It was a lot of fun.
It was a low ceiling with loud music and a lot of hustling and bustling going on. Kind of like the D, but
a little bit like the D, but a little more intimate.
A little more intense. Yeah, a little more intimate where it just gave you a good feeling, to be there.
And Mike, I was thinking about this. Golden Gate was the first property where you and I ever got a comp. I don't know if you specifically remember, but we were playing.
I think so, yeah.
And the guy says, "Oh, you guys want something to eat?" And they gave us some voucher for the deli there. It wasn't, anything big.
Yeah.
But we were looking at each other like, wow.
We felt like we were on top of the world. Yeah. Like, oh, we got a comp. We're somebody. If I'd only known.
Yeah.
I would have said, take that comp and shove it.
So, whenever the last time was that you played any table game at Golden Gate, that will be the last time you'll ever play a table game at Golden Gate.
I guess you were there when I did it, so.
Yeah, I think so.
Last time I did it.
It's like they say on 500, don't get attached to anything in Vegas because that place changes all the time.
Right.
Might go away.
Well, you can say that for most of life, right?
Sure.
For most people.
I guess, but
jobs change.
You went to...
Spouses change. Houses change.
Spouses change.
Well, for most people, that is true.
That's true. All right. I was going to say something, but you talked to me, so we'll just move on. All right. Hey, listener Jameson, can you hear me out there? We've got a message from you from your fiancée, Elizabeth. Hey, Jameson, I hope you and Mike have a great time. Please win big since we have a wedding to pay for. And remember to leave the craps table occasionally to eat and drink water. I love you. And that is from Elizabeth. Jameson and his friend Mike are going to Vegas September 8th through the 13th for his bachelor party. And she wanted to send a shout out. So there you go. And Elizabeth sent us a nice donation. So thank you, Elizabeth.
I love that, though. Please remember to eat.
Yeah. Hey, I understand.
Now, Jameson, take that with a grain of salt. Be very happy that she cares for you and loves you and stuff. But if you miss a meal, you probably survive.
Yeah. He probably won't be drinking or anything. It's just his bachelor party.
Yeah.
Mike, isn't it funny that neither one of us had our bachelor party in Las Vegas? Don't you think that would seem so obvious that that's where we would have gone?
Yeah.
Why didn't we?
Because we take our vows serious. And we didn't want
to. What the hell does that mean? We take our vows seriously. I'd like to personally apologize to everyone out there who had a bachelor or bachelorette party in Las Vegas or got married in Las Vegas. Send your complaints directly to Dr. Mike.
Well, no, what I meant by that is, we kind of went with what our wives would be okay with.
Why wouldn't our wives have minded going to Las Vegas? I don't think you're coming up with good reasons here, Dr. Mike.
I don't know.
I'm surprised.
Me personally, it's a hassle.
Okay, I'll give you that. I'll give you that. It can be a hassle.
It was just easier in the town the week before the wedding to go. We went to a casino.
Yeah. And our best men probably asked us what we wanted to do. Yeah, you're right, Mike. Because, what did we end up doing? Like with mine, we ended up going out for a steak dinner and then playing poker.
Yeah, and for mine, we went out for a steak dinner and ended up at Verona, I think.
Yeah, so I've been to bachelor parties in Las Vegas. They're great.
Yeah,
me too. We didn't go down
We didn't go to ours. We didn't go to any strip joints or anything. No. We were very much more concerned with actually playing cards.
Yes. All right. Dr. Mike, believe it or not, It is time for another poker tournament.
Wow.
The 11th semi-annual You Can Bet on That poker tournament. It is coming up on Sunday, August 31st. Again, that is the Sunday before the NFL season starts. I'm glad I remembered to put it in the show notes here because I didn't think it was coming up that soon. But we will not have another episode drop before the tournament. So, again, some details. Sunday, August 31st, 1 p.m. Eastern Time. So figure out where you live, figure out what that means, 1 o'clock Eastern Time, as far as your time is, and then that's when it'll take place. I'm tired of trying to...
I kind of figured out where I live.
Yeah, I don't even like listing times anymore because it doesn't seem to do any good. The guys here from the poker group, they show up 3 hours late, whatever. Yeah. All right. It is on the PokerStars Money app. You don't need to register early for the tournament. There isn't a limit on the number of players who can play. And the reason we mention this is because in the past, we've had a lot of players who have registered for the tournament early and then end up not showing up.
But something comes up, they can't play.
But forget, they're still taking up a seat. And even though they'll just be blinded off, it affects the way players who do show up play. So you can register anytime before the tournament starts. In fact, you can even register up until 20 minutes after the tournament starts. So no reason to register early if you're not sure you're going to play. And if you do register for the tournament and it ends up you can't play, please unregister. All right, $20,000 in play money chips to register. And remember, PokerStars gives you 15,000 chips every 4 hours. Just click on the free chips button on the PokerStars homepage. It's no limit Texas Hold'em. We'll have 3,000 in starting stacks. We'll have hourly breaks. If you're already in our PokerStars home games group, you can sign up for the tournament as soon as I post it. If you're not yet in our group, send us an email at youcanbetonThat@gmail.com with your email address and your PokerStars username. If you don't yet have a PokerStars username, just go to pokerstars.net, download the app, and sign up. It doesn't cost anything, and again, we'll be using their Play Money tournament option.
I was just thinking I should probably just sign up Paul while he's here.
Oh, yeah, Paul's with you right now, isn't he, in the same room?
Yep, I can sign him up, give him a PokerStars account and everything, and then when it comes time, he can just log on and play.
Yeah, he can even do it on his phone if he wants.
Yeah, he's good on his phone. Yep.
Okay. All right. First place is going to get a $100 Amazon gift card. Second place will get $50. Third place, $25. And we'll give a $25 Amazon gift card each for the players that eliminate me and Dr. Mike. The whole thing will probably be 4 hours if you go all the way to the end. And even though our next episode will drop the day after the tournament, we'll probably record the day before the tournament, so we won't have results until about a month later. But our listeners are used to waiting on us for a month, so I guess that's no big deal. Hey, thanks to everyone who's been clicking through our Amazon link. Member! Whenever you're going to buy something through Amazon, please go to our page first, youcanbetonThat.com, and click through our Amazon link towards the top of the page. All right, we got a bunch of voicemails, so at least let's get started on them. First up is Nathan.
Hey, guys, it's Nathan from Sacramento. Just real quick, we have our local casino in Calusa. It's like 20 minutes away. It's pretty small. They used to have all cards back in the 90s when they started. Then they pretty much evolved into a slot place. And then now they had a few tables, and they just got rid of their tables and put in a stadium gaming thing. My mom had told me that it was different than the one she's seen me usually play. So like any good craps player, I got up the next morning and went to go see what was new. It was a different one. They have Ultimate Texas Hold'em, 3-card poker, blackjack, of course, roulette and craps. And I actually forgot the brand of it, but it was different than the one I usually see like all over Vegas. But anyhow, I know we talked about this before, but like at Caesars, they still give points, even though it's not a lot, but I still get something. And then at MGM, I was told that though you don't get points, they still look at it like for an average bet and to get comps and stuff. And I play it fairly heavy because I'm one of the weird ones that actually like it, but I like regular craps too. But I get pretty good comps at MGM, offers, but I don't get actual points. But anyhow, this place, they don't give anything. It's just like you're not even playing. So I thought that was kind of weird because I know there's been debate whether it's a slot machine or a table game, whatever. And also their limits are funky because they have a $200 max limit on the whole layout, and then their individual craps machine next to it, you can have a max $200 bet, but you can have $2,999 on the layout. And I mean, 200, that gets used up right away. I think I had 50 on the pass line, 100 odds, and I got to place 2 numbers for 25. So I won a couple of bets, and I was 300 up, and I said, well, this isn't for me because, I don't like that low limit because I like to press up if I get going, of course. So anyway, I played a little bit, cashed out, and my finger on the side hit the 11 bet for $10. Couldn't believe it. It actually hit. So it was a good ending. I walked away with like $450 for just a couple minutes. But anyway, I just thought that was kind of odd. And
you got cut off there. Casinos should give points for all the machines. They have an edge. Maybe they're worried about somebody playing a do-we-don't, one person betting the pass line, and a friend betting the don't pass. They still have an edge. Give at least something.
Yeah, I'm sure it's that they just figure that 2 people, husband and wife, are going to come up. One's going to play pass, one's going to play don't, and try and come up with a bunch of comps.
Even if they
with losing just a little bit of money.
Yeah, but if the casinos are offering the comps or the points correctly, there's no way that somebody running that system could earn more comp dollars than what they're losing on the machine.
Right. Who knows? Mark, how casinos are.
Yeah.
They're worried about silly stuff like that.
And if they can get away with it, they do it.
Yeah, right.
All right, next call.
Hey, guys, I had an invention variation for Blackjack. Dealer deals 4 cards, 2 for themselves and 2 for the table. Everyone starts with the same hand. Then it progresses as normal, everyone making their own decisions, but starting with the same hand. Doctor talked about having a group dynamic. Maybe that would add to a group dynamic. Yeah.
Huh, interesting. So, yeah, everybody makes their bet. There's 2 community cards. The dealer gets, his 2 cards with 1 face up. And then everybody has their own decision on what they want to do. Hit, stand, split, double down, or whatever. And any subsequent cards are unique to each player. So I guess they'd be dealt right in front of the player. And then at least you have the same starting hand. So there would be more winning and losing together. I wonder if people would like that, though. What do you think about that, Mike?
Well, it might create some bickering if somebody... So if you and I have the same 2 cards and I want to take a card and you want to do something different, would somebody be, saying, oh, you idiot, you shouldn't do that. I didn't do it. You shouldn't do it.
Well, I mean, how is that any different than a regular blackjack game?
Yeah, right? I know.
Just because you're sharing the first 2 cards.
Yeah, it just might seem like it creates more.
I don't know about that.
I don't know, maybe
because
not.
Who cares what the other person does, right?
Right, it's not going to affect you.
But what do you think about that? Would that, it's more of a community thing. Is it something that would catch on even at all? Or would it need like groups of players, friends, to come up to the table as opposed to individual players? Would it really rely on that more?
It might be better if there was a group, but I don't know if it would rely on it.
I'm trying to think why the casino might like it. Would it go faster, maybe? because you're not dealing cards to every player initially.
Maybe so it would definitely go a little faster.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not a huge thing, but it would be a little faster. Now, the dealer's not going to take a card, right?
Well, the dealer plays the same way.
Yeah.
The dealer's not sharing the same 2 cards, Mike.
Well, right. I know, but I mean...
he has his own 2. Nothing changes for the dealer, right? They hit 16 and below and stay on 17 and above. And
that's what I mean, if nothing changes for the dealer.
Yeah.
Huh.
I don't know. It's not a bad idea. It kind of takes some elements of stadium gaming to a live table, right? Because there are, situations where players are
Well, what
playing
if the 2 cards were like a queen and a 4? So 14.
Yeah.
And I'm first act, and the dealer's up card is a 10. So I say, oh, give me a card.
Yeah.
And I get a 5.
Okay.
So let's say I've got 19. And the next guy, he hit that, which is the right move. And then he hits it and gets a 10 and busts.
Yeah.
Is it going to create any kind of weirdness because you have the same thing?
I don't know. You're asking a psychological question. So I have no idea, but again, I don't see how this is any different from a guy to my right getting blackjack, and then I'm dealt a 16 against a 10, right?
Right.
And then I bust. Yeah,
well, and if the common cards are a blackjack, right?
Yeah.
Then everyone's happy.
Yeah.
They've all got blackjack.
Yeah.
It would make camaraderie in that you all get a blackjack.
Right. Yeah.
And camaraderie because you all have to commiserate when you've got 12.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, that's interesting.
It is interesting. All right. Go out there and get it patented. I'm too lazy, but maybe it's a good idea.
I don't know that the casino would.
The only thing I could think of is that it would go faster. The fact that you don't have to deal the initial 2 cards to every player at the table.
And everyone's bet could be different. That wouldn't really change. So if I'm betting 100 and the guy next to me is betting $10, the casino probably doesn't care.
Just like they don't care on a regular blackjack table. I think you're giving this too much thought, Dr. Mike.
Well, I'm just thinking would the casino be bothered by, okay, they all got blackjack, so I got to pay them all?
No, because it's just, everybody got dealt a 16 against a 10.
Say you got 5 players, and if they all get blackjack at the same time.
Yeah, I know, but it all...
You know how the casinos think. God,
okay, I agree.
Terrible.
Sometimes casinos don't think clearly, but it all comes out in the wash.
Right, in the wash, it'll all be the same, yeah. I don't know. Interesting concept. I guess some casino could try it, see how it goes.
Yeah.
I assume the statistical odds are going to be all the same, right?
I can't imagine that it would change.
Yeah.
All right, next call.
Hey, Mark and Dr. Mike. This is Karsten calling from Denver. Hope you guys are doing well. Last time I called, I was at the casino in Florence, Oregon with the 21 Earth Year requirement. So thought I'd follow that up with kind of a funny story on a recent trip I took to the Isle of Man. I was there on vacation with my family. It's a small island between Scotland and Ireland. They have one casino on the island. It's actually at the Best Western Hotel and has about 5 or 6 tables, mostly blackjack, and I think 1 roulette table, £5 minimum. I was playing blackjack, and a new player joined the game. He was either a non-native English speaker or very unfamiliar with the game, perhaps both. And when the action would come to him, he would do sort of a wave motion with his hand, pretty pronounced, actually, almost like he was a hula dancer, so to speak, to give you the visual. The dealer, I think rightfully so, was a little bit confused, but sort of went along with it for a couple of hands. And then by the 3rd or 4th hand or so, he actually paused the game and asked the player, and doing the motion himself, is this hit or is this stay? And so it was just sort of a funny situation to me, an unusual player circumstance, and then the dealer sort of mimicking him. It was a little bit funny to me. I think where we landed was that it meant hit, and he played for a little bit longer and then got up and left, and the dealer and I had a little bit of a laugh. Fun casino, took a little small win, and really enjoyed my time. They have sort of a unique national flag for the Isle of Man, which that emblem that's on the flag was also on the chip, so kind of a unique one for the collection. Really quickly, just was recently in Philadelphia as well. Played at the Rivers Casino there, right in Philadelphia. I really enjoy going to Pennsylvania to play blackjack, given how good the rules are there. Soft 17, surrender, 3-2 on every table, which is even applicable to low-limit machines. So you're always going to find those rules, even if it's on a $1 or a $3 minimum blackjack machine. So
nice.
Kind of fun. Anyway, guys, appreciate the show. Hope to see you guys perhaps when you're in Blackhawk later this year, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care.
Yeah, looking forward to seeing you, Karsten. Again,
Yeah.
Blackhawk, September 11th through the 14th. Sherry and I, we've got all our reservations. Mike, you got your reservations?
I'll be getting them tomorrow.
Okay.
I got all the numbers and everything, and I looked up some stuff about flights and hotels and all that. I just got to call and do it,
Okay, very good.
which will probably happen tomorrow morning.
All right.
Yeah, Carson, that's why I carry a sheet, not a card, a whole sheet of paper with all of the motions that I might make and what they mean.
Uh-huh.
So I hand that to the dealer, and that lets them know exactly what I want to do.
Oh, so you hand it to the dealer ahead of time
Yeah.
so that they know.
Right. So I know this is your little cheat sheet. If you can't figure it out, there's a picture of me bending over, giving them the moon. That
Okay.
means give me a hit,
Right.
but I'm not happy about it. Different
things, so they always know.
yeah.
And they say,
So
well,
they-
what does the hot chocolate on your head mean? That's unrelated to the game.
Yeah,
Sorry, I
that's
should have put
just-
that on the sheet.
That's just for entertainment.
Yeah.
And the sheet's usually all crumpled and beat up because I'm only going to print one.
I'm going to need that back. Hold on to it while I'm here, but I'll need it back.
I'll need it back. You're yelling from, hey, table 8 has my sheet. Can you bring it over here?
I forgot it. I need it. The dealer doesn't know why I'm mooning him.
A sheet is the way to go.
Yeah, that emblem on the Isle of Man flag, which is kind of cool and kind of creepy at the same time, is called a
Right.
triskelion. It's like 3 legs, coming out of the center. It's definitely weird. Oh, speaking of Blackhawk, I posted the tentative schedule that Melissa put together. I posted
I
that
saw that.
on Twitter, X. So check out our page on Twitter, and it's there. Otherwise, you can actually contact Thomas and Melissa. They're the ones planning this whole thing via email at blackhawkgamble, one word, blackhawkgamble@gmail.com. So they've set up that
Nice.
email if you want to contact them and, have questions about Blackhawk or the meetup.
Thomas will be getting a lot of emails from me like, hi, Thomas. Will there be blackjack there? A few minutes later, hi, Thomas.
I don't
Will
understand
there be any
these
food there?
emails from Dr. Mike. Is he trying to be funny, or is he really doesn't know if there'll be blackjack there?
Just constantly bombarded. You have 800 new emails.
They're all from Dr. Mike. This must be an emergency. Hi, are there roads there to drive on?
Yeah. What's the air quality going to be like in Blackhawk?
I wonder if you'll be able to inject that tone into the text of the emails. Hi, Thomas. It's me again.
That's what one of you computer guys have to come up with. A way to inject that particular tone.
Yeah.
Hello, Thomas. It can't be big letters because that'd be too loud.
Yeah, I'd be yelling, hi, Thomas.
Yeah, right.
Do they have candy there?
What kinds? And then you just list off a couple hundred.
Yeah,
usage
thanks for
changes.
contacting me, Dr. Mike. Here are the candies I found in Blackhawk. All right. Let's hear from Brandon.
Hey, Mark and Dr. Mike, it's Brandon out here in Salt Lake City. Hey, on your last podcast, you were talking about unusual bets that people have made, and you guys couldn't really think of anything that you've done. It made me laugh because my friend and I, we used to do dollar bets on ridiculous things like what the next commercial would be on TV or just something of that nature. Well, one of our favorite bands from Europe was touring in the U.S., and we did a dollar bet on whether they would play a song that they hadn't played on tour. And of course, I said, no, they're not going to play it. And he said, okay, they're going to play it. And we bet $1 on it. So we're at the concert. It was a small concert venue in Denver. And the lead singer, she announced, hey, our next song is Quietus. And I just screamed at the top of my lungs, bleep you, to my friend. And the whole venue just turns and looks at me. And then all of a sudden the band drops the song. And I wasn't really upset because it was a great song. And really it was only $1, but that was the nature of our degenerate gambling back. I guess it was about 15 years ago. Anyway, yeah, just made me think. So hope you guys are doing well, and we'll talk to you later. All right, bye.
Yeah, thanks, Brandon. I like how these weird, strange bets are probably for very low amounts.
Yeah.
Right? They're just silly, stupid things, right?
Well, it's the amount is irrelevant. It's the fact that you beat your buddy.
That is really it. Yeah, that's all that matters. It could be for a penny.
That's a guy
you owe me a
thing,
penny.
right?
Yeah, it is.
Women would never do that. They're not that dumb. But guys will do that all the time.
It is kind of a guy thing. All right. Next call.
Hi, this is Logan from Hawaii. I have a Vegas trip report. So I just went up to Vegas with my family to play a bingo tournament. My $500 buy-in for bingo will last 4 to 5 hours in the bingo room rather than 10 to 15 minutes on the casino floor. So this tournament was approximately 20 games, with 18 of the games jackpots being $20,000 and 2 of the games being $50,000 apiece. I did not win the tournament, so my mom said, let's go downstairs and play 3-card poker. We get to the table. For third hand, she turns to me and looks and tells me, I don't know what to do with this. Does this win? It's ace, king, queen of clubs, which is the progressives. I take her hand and I tell the dealer, look, she hit the jackpot. The dealer says to put the cards down and put the chip on top of it. My mom tries to put 2 chips on top of it. The dealer says, no, you got to put 1 chip. My mom hit the progressive for about $17,000. At the end, I tell her to tip the dealer $200. My mom is reluctant because she says the dealer's mean to her. I tell her she's just doing her job. You don't know how to play this game. That's why she's telling you cannot do certain things. So on our last day in Vegas, we all head to Gold Coast. So my mom says, let's go play 3-card poker. I want to say her ace hand dealt, she draws king, queen, jack of diamonds. And she asked me, did I win the progressive jackpot again? I go, you didn't win the progressive, but you won like $300. So hopefully our next family trip, I'll have her play more card games and see what the outcome is. I know Pai-Gow poker has a progressive, but I'm not really a fan of the face-up Pai-Gow poker now that is prevalent among Vegas. And I haven't seen Caribbean stud poker or Let It Ride in a while. So I don't think those games exist in Vegas anymore. Just, thank you.
I haven't seen Caribbean stud poker in forever. I can't even remember the last time.
Funny this comes up because just this morning, Paul and I were I said, we had gone to one casino a few days ago just for a couple hours. And I said, maybe we'll try a different place. And Paul asked, well, do some of these places have Pai-Gow? I couldn't find any Pai-Gow around here, but
Wow.
2 of the casinos within a 2-hour drive from me have Caribbean stud poker.
Wow. Okay. So
Yeah.
not completely dead.
I was shocked.
Yeah.
2 of them have Caribbean stud. Paul was looking for 6-card poker.
Oh,
and on
yeah.
the computer, I saw, it said Viejas,
Yes,
where you
we've got
actually
it here.
get 6 cards.
Yes.
And Saquon had some version of that, but nothing here in the Midwest like that. The closest was 3-card poker, where you can make a side bet and combine your 3 cards and the dealer's 3 cards.
Yeah, that's not the same. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not the same, but that was the closest where you get 6 cards.
Now, I want to say I've seen Let It Ride fairly recently. I'm trying to remember if it was in Las Vegas or not.
Yeah.
But
didn't ring a bell here for these Midwestern casinos, Let It Ride.
Well, it sounds like you want to be at a table with Logan's mom. Maybe get an envy bonus. Yeah.
Well, the other night when Paul and I were playing blackjack, they had some side bets. One was $1, and the other one was a minimum of $5. And the $5 side bet, the progressive paid $188,000.
Wow. What'd you have to get?
You had to get either 3 aces of diamonds.
So your two
hand
cards
had to be ace of diamond, and the dealer's up card had to be ace of diamond.
Okay.
Or kings of diamonds, or queens of diamonds.
Okay, so any of those
three
had to be all the same, though. You couldn't have ace, king, queen of diamonds.
No,
right.
all the same.
Gotcha.
So I was dealt king of diamonds, king of diamonds.
Oh my gosh.
Face up. Comes around the dealer. He's, of course, wanting me to win because he knows he's going to get a good tip. Come on, king of diamonds. He flips it over, ace of diamonds. So I won on the flush. There's a bunch of different payouts. Yeah. So I got some money for the flush. It was like $300 or something. Yeah. Paul and I are looking at each other like, oh my God. I mean, it was a super long shot, right?
Of course, but
it's
still,
a shoe, 6-deck shoe, but just to see the ace.
Yeah, for it to be the ace, yeah.
Right. I was happy I got paid, but those are kind of fun. I like them, but it does kill you.
Yeah.
Putting $5 out there every time. Now you get some straights, you get some flushes, but.
All right, next call.
Mark, Dr. Mike, this is Andrew from New Jersey. Really appreciate the show. I just wanted to call in, continuing the slot ticket conversation. I was recently at a casino in Atlantic City, sitting down playing some video poker, and the slot attendant actually came up to me, and a friend of mine was sitting next to me, and asked us if we were playing a machine that was, I think, 2 over from us. And we both had said no, we were just playing these ones and hadn't moved. And before I could say anything or really realize what was happening, the slot attendant had reached over my shoulder with an abandoned ticket from that machine, put it in our machine, and told us, I'd rather you guys have it than some bum off the street pick it up and take it home. I've been listening to the show, and obviously I've heard if it was a ticket, I think it was like $7 or something, nothing significant. But obviously now it's in my machine, and I just kind of left it there. I didn't know what to do. So just curious what you guys' thoughts are. If you've ever seen a slot attendant just put a ticket into your machine before, or maybe how you guys would have handled that. Love the show. Keep up the great work. Thank you, guys.
We've never seen that before, and I'm guessing the slot attendant should not have done that. But shoot, if an employee of the casino is putting it in the machine for you, okay, I'll go ahead and play it.
Yeah, right. I don't know that they could have a complaint with you because, they
maybe
put it in there.
Right. Maybe the slot attendant gets in trouble, but they put it in there. Let's play.
Right. That's such a silly thing. I had 45 cents and I took it to the machine and the machine was out of coin.
Right.
And there was a line at the cashier. I'm not going to stand in line for 45 cents.
No,
so
I think a lot of people won't. Yeah.
No, and I was just walking out, and I just handed it to some lady on the machine. She said, "Oh, thanks,"
Yeah. Well, if you give it to somebody, sure, that's fine.
Yeah, I mean that. How can they argue that?
Yeah.
Muskegon's son has Let It Ride.
Okay, you've been looking this up while we've been
currently.
Okay.
Yep, I was looking it up while you were talking, while we were listening.
Very good. I guess those games are out there somewhere.
Yeah.
All right, let's hear from our good friend Melanie.
Hey, Mark. Hello, Dr. Mike. This is Melanie from Colorado. Just got back from an impromptu trip to Vegas. One fun thing I did is played blackjack at the pool at the Golden Nugget. It's poolside, music's going, sun is shining, but you're under some shade. Really friendly dealer. That's right, a friendly dealer at Golden Nugget. Interestingly, I had offers from the Golden Nugget, even though I haven't played or stayed there in ages. So enjoyed my stay there. Thanks, Golden Nugget. At the blackjack table at the pool, they have a weird side bet. So minimum bet's $10, the side bet's $2, and it's for a progressive. If you hit a blackjack, you get to spin a wheel. You can win anywhere from $20 to $1,000 to the progressive. It's like up to $44,000, and the dealer says it hits about once a month. That's how much money that side bet rakes in, and the house edge is high. It was also 6-5 blackjack, I know, but to sit in the sun and play blackjack, it was worth it. I did hit a couple blackjacks and got to spin the wheel. I think I got $30 once, maybe 40 the other. They just give it to you in chips right there. Also, if they bust with a 22 and you're still in the hand, you roll these cat dice. There's one picture of a cat on one side of the dice, and then the other 5 sides are all blank. So if you get 1 cat, you get even money, and if you get 4 cats, you get something else. Obviously not great odds, but I don't mind a little cat bonus. I went to Fontainebleau. I walked through there. It was the first time I'd played there. Went, got a drink at the tavern. It was a free drink just for playing. When I was walking over the tavern, I asked a floor person, I said, where's the rewards desk so I can get a player's card? And she's like, I'll just do it for you. She took my ID. Within 2 minutes, she came back and had a player's card, which is so interesting. At the Golden Nugget, I don't know where my player's card is since I haven't been there in so long. I gave him my ID at the blackjack table, and the kind of gruff box guy was like, well, I'll get you in to get you rated, but I can't make you a card. I'm like, okay. So I never did go get a card made. Yeah, Fontainebleau just made it way too easy. I don't know, got 100 points at Fontainebleau. We'll see if that generates any sort of offer. Vegas was pretty dead, except for the pool parties that I went to on the guest list, which would be Tiesta during the day at Fontainebleau Live Pool. Very, very fun. Highly recommend. I believe they had open bar for women on the guest list for like an hour. I think I had 1 drink there. And then Encore Beach Club at night, I saw Subtronics. That was excellent. Also caught the Beyonce show. So yeah, 3 shows in 24 hours.
Nice.
I got to meet up with my good friend Sergio on Sunday. We hit the View Bar. Really played more at the D than I have in the past, so really enjoyed that. I did stay at Main Street Station. I got a deal through Hotel Slash for like $100 on a Saturday. I'm like, yeah, okay, sure. Oleg was still there behind the bar. He's a longtime bartender there. He said that lots of people are getting laid off there at Main Street. Yeah, that floor was real dead. I still like Main Street. I know it gets, I don't know, not a lot of love, but it's super cool with all the antiques, and I just like the vibe. It took me like 5 minutes to check in. The baggage check guy was nice, so I feel like it's nice to have a little quiet away from Fremont Street. It is really sad, though, because I really was a big, big fan of Main Street for a while there. I stayed there almost exclusively. They gave me such great deals, and yeah, Oleg said even regular customers who really put in a lot of points are not getting offers. So I can't wait to see everyone in September. It's only, 6 weeks away. Dr. Mike, I really hope you'll come. Like I said, we can celebrate Lynn's birthday, and my birthday's right before that. So it'll just be great if we could all be together. But I know you're coming, Mark, and I can't wait to see you. Thanks for the great show, guys. Bye.
All right. Looking forward to it, Melanie.
Yeah, I am too. I'm planning on coming. Lynn is probably not coming.
Okay.
Because, her mother wants to do some stuff with her. But I will probably be there as long as I'm home by Monday.
Which is Lynn's birthday, yeah.
Which is her birthday, yeah.
Yeah, Main Street Station has been a topic on our show lately, and unfortunately the news just keeps getting worse. A lot of layoffs there. That's too bad. I did like the story about her getting her player's card at Fontainebleau, how there was just an employee right there. And, here, let me get it for you. That kind of happened to us up at San Manuel, which is now Yamava. Remember, they had people who were just walking around so you didn't have to wait in line. But at Golden Nugget, sorry, I can't make you a card. Interesting.
On a good note, though, Mark, there are 6 casinos in Iowa that do Let It Ride.
All right, you need to start paying attention to these phone calls instead of going off and
3 in Minnesota. I was paying attention to Melanie. I heard every word. Now, 4 Caribbean Stud, 2 in Iowa, 3 in Minnesota.
Okay, so still around. What about Las Vegas? Are you able to check?
I can check.
All right. So why don't you do that?
All right.
And in the meantime, we're going to hear from our buddy Kevin. But I want you to pay attention because he's got some information in this call that's going to be of particular interest to you.
Very well. I will listen.
Gentlemen, it's Kevin from Madison. Love your show always, and it's been a while. I had to reach out and share 2 things with you guys. One, I'm not sure I can agree with your ranked list of Caesars properties. As much as I love Planet Hollywood, their pool is an absolute mess. I agree with you on the gaming floor and the proximity to other attractions, but the pool's a downer. Maybe that didn't factor into your criteria for the list. Harrah's has some good memories for me as well, but that gaming floor is tight. One of my big beefs with downtown is that some of those properties are hard to navigate, primarily because machines are jammed in and walkways are limited. I feel that way at Harrah's, similar to Cromwell, but that place is a little classier to me. Caesar's table limits are tough. I'm not a baller like you guys, and that's cool. It's gorgeous property. So here's my list. It'll allow you to shame me, block my number, or swear at me next time we connect. Number 5, Harrah's. Number 4, Cromwell. That's also an awesome pool. Number 3, Flamingo. Number 2, Planet Hollywood. Number 1, Caesars. Second reason for the call is football season. Let's go. I wrote an algorithm to predict NFL football games this year, and I wanted to share 3 of the key picks it gave me for week 1. I'm not looking to sell picks or promote any of this, although if the algo works well this year, I'll consider doing that in 2026. If I were you, I'd track this rather than betting any of it. Over time, the algo will get better as data is amassed. Here are the picks. Chiefs and Chargers play in Brazil. Chiefs favored by 2.5. Algo says take the 2.5 and go Chargers. My Packers are favored by 2 at home against the Lions. Algo says take the Lions to cover. The Bears are favored by 1.5 at home against the Vikings. Algo says Vikings will win outright. When these go 0-3, you can sit me in the horseshoe and have me watch reruns of Star Wars while you throw almond joys at my head. Thanks for all the great content. Have a good week, and best of luck at the tables.
All right, you too, Kevin. Thanks. So his 3 picks for the first weekend. So he said Chargers take the points over the Chiefs. He said
I was going to do that anyway.
He said 2.5. Chargers are now 3-point underdogs, so you get a little more there. He said Lions +2 over the Packers. That's now 1.5, but there you go. And he's a Packers fan, so he's going by the algorithm. Now, the Vikings, they're actually 2.5-point favorites now. If you were to just go the money line, he was saying the Vikings would win outright. They're actually -125, so they're the favorites now. So there you go on those.
Yeah, that's a rough bet. I don't know if I agree with, but...
Now, as far as those rankings go, so listeners will remember that it was actually a blind ranking that Dr. Mike had to do. He had, from 1 to 5, Planet Hollywood, Caesar's Palace, Harrah's, Flamingo, and the Cromwell. And again, Kevin had Caesar's Palace, Planet Hollywood, Flamingo, the Cromwell, and Harrah's.
But his is without blind.
His is without blind, even though you said you might have set those up the way you did. But his was not a blind ranking. Yeah. And I don't think either one of us has a problem with his rankings either. And we did not take swimming pools into account. Absolutely did not.
No. We were talking about gambling.
Mostly gambling, yeah. There you go. All right. Well, thanks, Kevin. Good to hear from you.
Yeah, Kevin, always nice to hear from him. I hope to see him soon. I see him occasionally here in Iowa.
Right.
And I think once we saw each other at Ho Chunk in the Dells.
Oh, yeah.
Which isn't far from him. Kevin might be interested to know that Caribbean Stud Poker website says that it is still played at Monte Carlo, Bally's.
Monte Carlo. It's not. It hasn't been called Monte Carlo in years.
I know. That's what their website said.
I would not trust that website.
This guy said, personally, I have not seen the game in 5 years or so.
Okay.
Yeah, this website's pretty old. This guy says they have $10 tables at Monte Carlo.
Good luck. First, try to find Monte Carlo, and then try to find the $10 table.
And then try and find your Caribbean Stud. But yeah, those games are still live here in the Midwest.
All right, well, good. All right, Mike, we've got some more phone calls, but let's go ahead and wrap it up because, we've gone pretty long here, and I know you and Paul are itching to get out to the casino.
Yeah, we're going to go. It's my chance to go now that Paul's here.
Good.
Yeah, we didn't stay too long, and I played some blackjack with Paul because he likes that. He's not a big craps
When
guy.
was this, last night?
Yeah. This was a couple nights ago.
Okay.
So, yeah, we're going to go again tonight, maybe just something for us to do. Okay. Tomorrow night, we're going to the fair here in town. And, yeah, as far as my trip goes, just real quick, saw a lot of Europe, saw a lot of things. Did not see one casino.
Oh, I was going to ask you about that. Nothing on the trip gambling related?
No, other than some people playing poker in little coffee shops on the island, but no organized games.
All right, well, let's play one more call. This was actually a voicemail that Eric Rosenthal sent directly to me. So let's hear it.
Mark, it's Eric. It's the 8th inning. The Padres are beating the Mets 4-0. I'm here with Josh Duffy and Stacy, and we're watching the game, and we were all prepared for Stacy to tell you to suck it. We're well overserved, and yet it doesn't appear we're going to be able to tell you that. I wish you congratulations to your Padres. I wish you well. I hope you're happy, and we'll talk to you soon. Oh, and Josh just got a 4 of a kind. So, by the way, we all got Royals like 5 times today. So, there's that. We may be losers in baseball, but we're winners in Royals. I love you, brother. I hope you're well. Take care.
All right. You too, Eric. Thanks for the call. Yeah, he called. This was when the Padres swept the Mets.
Oh, that's right. They swept them.
Yeah.
They swept the Mets. Huh. Wow.
So that was what that call was about. We wanted to call attention to a new podcast, well, relatively new. We've been off the air for a month, so we haven't had a chance to shout out to them. But it's called Handy at the Shandy, and it is hosted by Adam Bauer and Boring Jack and Table Games James, and they've got great rapport. It's full of Vegas-y goodness, as Tim Dresden would say. They work off each other very well, and those guys, they're hilarious. So
I must be thinking of different people than you.
Oh, it could be.
Handy and the Shandy.
Handy and the Shandy. It sounds kind of nasty, but
it sounds pretty nasty.
Yeah.
I'm sure Adam came up with that.
So Shandy is short for the Chandelier Bar at Cosmopolitan. And handy just means getting a hand pay there. A hand pay. So that's
pay.
What it is. Yeah.
Are you sure that's the right 3-letter word?
That's what they said. I just have to take them at their word.
All right. Yeah, that's a good group actually of people to get together. Yeah. And I'm sure Jack will put Adam in his place. So, my perfect person.
Yeah.
He'll correct him if he's off on anything.
All right, well, that's going to do it for this episode. We want to thank some people for some donations from the International Brotherhood of Gobbling Donkeys, from Josh, from Crap Vegas, from Brian Dancer, from James, from Kurt, from Nathan, from the National Association of Casino Party Operators, and from Jeremy at the Color Up YouTube channel. Also a donation from our friend Bill up in Canada, karma donation for an upcoming Vegas trip. My friends will be going August 14th through the 18th. Best of luck, Kerwin and buddies. Well, yeah, Kerwin, have a great trip.
Oh, that's coming up today.
Also, that's right, as we're recording this. Yeah. And also a donation from listener Anthony, tossing the boys a green chip karma donation for my upcoming Vegas trip, August 22nd. Visiting family for a few days, and the wife's cool with me spending one night on the town alone. Excellent. Nice. Staying at the Palazzo, seeing Absinthe, then craps around town. We'll have a great trip, Anthony. Hey, at the top of our webpage, you'll find a link to our store where you can buy You Can Bet On That merchandise at 50% off. Also, you can find a list of all the gambling-related shows coming up on American television at youcanbetonThat.com/TV-listings. And we've got a list of gambling-related movies at youcanbetonThat.com/movies. We'd love to hear from you. Call our voicemail hotline at 951-292-4377. That's 9512-WAGERS.
9512-WAGERS.
Or you can email us at youcanbetonThat@gmail.com. We're also on Twitter at YouCanBetOnThat and on Facebook at facebook.com/YouCanBetOnThat. All right, Dr. Mike, go.
Well, first off, Mark, the Padres. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
I have been so excited.
Yeah, it's a good time to be a Padre fan. Yep.
Oh,
and did they make some trades at the trade deadline? Fantastic.
Yes. Just the fact that they made trades that could possibly really help them means a lot to fans like me.
Right.
It means you're trying, you want to win. And, we've had those years when they kind of give up and they're sellers.
Right. There's still no guarantee. We're still pretty jaded by the Padres, but it is exciting.
As a Padre fan, we're not banking on doing anything. We're assuming we're going to lose in the first round. But, but every time we win, it's great. It's keeping me up late. I'm going to bed at 1 a.m. because of some of these games, but I sure do love it.
Yep.
And as we were flying back to the United States from Europe, I was thinking to myself, on the island that my dad's from, it's not a touristy place.
Right. This is a Greek island.
Yeah, Greek island. And it's very beautiful ocean, beautiful beaches.
Yeah.
Just not touristy. There's no tourist shops or anything, but there's good restaurants and it's a real relaxing. The girls actually liked it better than the touristy islands.
I can believe that, sure.
Less crowded, but people are just super nice.
Yeah.
And I just wonder, flying back, I was thinking to myself, why can't everyone just be nice? Mark, we need that in the world. Think about how much fun it would be.
If everyone were nice.
If everyone were nice. We just all, went to casinos and had fun with each other. And you can still give some grief to people, but in a nice way.
Okay. So you're going to...
I'm going to promote that.
By your actions, correct?
Yeah, by my actions
Yes.
and by telling people, if you want to make Dr. Mike really happy, just be nice.
Okay. I'll start telling people that.
Yeah.
How's Dr. Mike? Well, I'll tell you, if you want to make him happy.
Yeah.
This came to you on the flight home from Europe.
Well, I just was thinking about it. I was thinking, God, the people on the island, they're kind of laid back. And,
Sure.
They're not in a hurry to get anything or do anything. They don't want much from you. They just want to have a nice time.
All right.
It's easy to do when you're on a small island in the middle of a sea, but we should all practice that.
All right. Thank you for those final thoughts, Dr. Mike.
And football's coming.
And
which, I don't want my teams to be all that nice to the other team, but at the end of the game, they can be nice.
Okay. You like good sportsmanship, but maybe not during the game.
Well, I'm a fan of good sportsmanship at any time.
All right.
But,
I'm putting words in your
It's
mouth.
a physical game. You got to be a little tough.
All right, Dr. Mike, you and Paul have luck at the casino. Everybody else, we'll talk to you in 2 weeks. Thanks for listening.
Yep. Good luck tonight, Mark.
Oh, thank you. Yes.
And good luck to all.
One of the betting sites had him pegged as a favourite for the next Nobel Prize in Physics.
You can bet on that?